you may have a disability that prevents you from working. Call us at O'Malley & Langen. We can help you get the Social Security benefits that you've earned. Good morning and welcome to You Be the Judge. I got to tell you, I am really excited about this week's show because I'm with a couple good friends from the Houdini Museum. And we're here about to announce the grand opening of the Houdini Museum, new front and
new
marquee and signs, and you're going to have a celebration. So say hello to Dorothy Dietrich and Dick Brooks. Dorothy, your position at the museum is?
Director.
And you are?
Historian.
Historian.
Yes.
And Houdini is somebody that's very special to the two of you. You've plied your profession for a number of years and followed Houdini very carefully.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I grew up in a really poor family, and I didn't have any kind of direction, and I liked magic, but I didn't really. The first time I saw magic, I was in grade school. And we had the old-fashioned school that had the auditorium with the stage with the red curtain. And when the performer went on, the lights went on, and he came out and he started doing the magic. And I watched him. I was amazed. And then I realized really quick, I looked at the rest of the crowd, and everybody was like mesmerized. And I thought, geez, I wonder if this guy makes a living doing this. And so then I was quickly going to the library, looking up books on magic. And so then I grew up with 6 brothers, and the only time they'd let me play with them, because I was a real girly girl, they'd let me play because I couldn't catch a ball, so I couldn't play baseball with them. I couldn't play football. I would just let the ball hit the ground, and I'd pick it up and go, and I couldn't run, you know. So the only time I could play is if I would play cops and robbers or cowboys and Indians. And that was when they would tie me up, tie me to a chair, to a tree, tie me to the gym set, you know, and I would always escape. So my aunt was there one day witnessing this, and she says, "Who do you think you are, Houdini?" And I said, "Who's that?" She said, "Look it up." And so I didn't even know how to spell Houdini. And I went to the library and I was looking for WHO, who, you know, and so the librarian helped me out. And I read the first book on Houdini and I thought, wow. This is amazing.
And the two of you have been involved in the magic business for a number of years.
A lot of years.
Forever, all our lives, both of us.
And I was with a very dear friend of yours, who was a good friend of mine up in upstate New York, Gary Pillersdorf.
Gary's the best.
And Gary is one of the great lawyers in America, ladies and gentlemen. He laughs about the fact that he ends up representing people that have a tendency to fall in front of subway trains in New York, but he's done a magnificent job protecting the rights of people, making the subway system in New York much safer. But he's a magician as well.
Yeah.
He loves magic, and he's a performer as well. So for a lot of
years. We know
years,
him since we're kids, right?
Yeah, since we first started out in New York City. And Gary, sadly, when we were living in New York, we got to see him all the time. But now we haven't seen him for several years.
Well, he's coming up to visit, and I want to tell you something about what Gary says about you. He says there is no better magician, female magician in the entire country than you, and he talks about you catching a bullet in your teeth.
Yeah, don't try that, okay?
And you showed us before we got started a letter that he wrote to you when you tried to get insurance for the trick, and he said, please don't do it, it's dangerous.
Yeah, it is dangerous. The basic reason why I did it, the main reason, was because being a female, and it's like, I know a lot of people hear this, oh, not the female thing again. But you know what? I wasn't getting the kind of respect that I felt. I wasn't treated like an equal in my field. So I was at one point invited to perform for the International Brotherhood of Magicians and for their international convention. And I thought, well, you know what? I better do something that is going to really wow them and something that not anyone in the crowd would do. So I did that, And I also did the straitjacket escape, hanging off of a crane with the rope on fire with a straitjacket. And so they really appreciated it.
When we come back, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, I want you to tell us a little bit about this fantastic facility that you
Love
brought
to.
to
Sure,
Scranton,
we love it.
Pennsylvania, and all of the joy that you brought to so many kids. And so please, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned to You Be the Judge. Tad O'Malley again. If you're hurt or sick, can't work, Social Security could be the answer. Grab your cell phone. Call the lawyers at O'Malley & Langen, 1-800-817-2667. And remember, we don't get paid unless you win.